Hi, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine.
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine.
Marty Levinson, my friend, it's Scott Lee Cohn, and I want you to know, while I'm cutting the waste and corruption in Illinois, I'm going to be doing it with you in mind.
Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Back to that lemon light city.
Hi there, I'm the real Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine show with the greatest cameraman around, Sonny Hirsch, and your host, Avi Myers.
Thank you, Marty. Avi Myers, Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine, a presentation of Sonny Hirsch and myself. Dial us up on the web. We're real big on community policing. We're going to cut the intro shorter. By the way, the Jewish Chicago is going to be coming out in early October. We're probably also, as long as my first guest is going to be my favorite alderman, we're going to probably be putting out an aldermanic issue before the aldermanic election. I've been urged by a lot of people to do it, and I'm thinking about it. But it is a pleasure to have the alderman of the 50th Ward, the vice mayor of the city of Chicago, Berny Stone. How you doing?
Hi, Avi. How are you?
Good. I actually see things being built in this neighborhood.
Yeah, we got a lot of construction going on. Not much construction going on in the city, but we have quite a bit of construction going on. You'll see the Aldi's on Granville and California. Of course, the parking garage, which will be dedicated the second week in August. It'll be completed then. Two other buildings on Devon Avenue, two four-story buildings on Devon. So there's work going on in the 50th, a lot of single-family homes. So in spite of the fact that a lot of foreclosures are happening, there is work being done in the 50th Ward.
Yeah, I saw on Devon Avenue, there's two buildings right on between Tallman and Rockwell that just had work done.
Yeah. There's a building being rehabbed at Oakley and Devon, that 28 apartment building with the 3 stores at the grade level. So, it's bad. Still, times are still bad, but work is still being happening. The answer is if there's a need, we've got to meet the need. And there is a need for certain things, and the work is being done. I am unhappy over the fact that, unfortunately, I think we're something like 6th in the amount of foreclosures. Most of those foreclosures are on condominium units, and most of them are not units that are currently occupied. There are a lot of them are units that were vacant, and a lot of developers are losing their shirts on buildings where they took a chance. But the fact is, we need rental units, so perhaps we can convert some of these units into rental units. And I have been talking with developers particularly on affordable housing and building rental units for affordable housing.
Very good. Now, yeah, because being a walker, I've seen I wouldn't say every block, but maybe every other block, there's a house or an apartment building that's got shutters on it.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is true. Just yesterday we took a look at a building further east, and you can't tell whether the apartment is actually occupied, but when you don't see curtains on the windows, and you don't see signs of occupation, then you start to worry. But what really worries me, I don't see signs for rent. And that really worries me when you see a building like that and the owner isn't even attempting to rent the apartments.
That's interesting. One of the things I want to caution people to do, too, that I've been doing, like, for instance, there's a house not far from me, and these people throw these advertising flyers and stuff up there, especially on weekends. And you know what? I remove them because I don't really want people to know that there's nobody living there.
No, you shouldn't do that. And you're absolutely right. And it's
One out of a million.
yeah, but
I mean that I'm right.
yeah, no, sometimes you're right, Al. But we're working with the department and trying to get as fast as these things are happening. We're trying to get the department aware of it and get the buildings back on the market.
No, that sounds good. By the way, speaking of stuff like that, I want to mention very much our second segment today that I want you to stay tuned for is for National Night Out. We've got Officer Matt McKenna, Zara Quadri, and Bernard Garbo. We're all working very hard on it. National Night Out this year is August 3rd between 6 and 8 o'clock at Warren Park. And it's going to be just north of the field house at 6600 on Western Avenue. I want to say hi to Diana, my favorite park supervisor by far. Great lady in Park District, whatever they're paying her. And I don't want to get involved in this controversy of anybody getting raises. It ain't enough because she really does a better job than that.
Oh, Diana is one of those fine people. It has been active in Park District for many, many years. Yes, and we're really hosting the 24th District this year. Last year we did not, but this year we're hosting the 24th District at Warren Park. And we're happy to be hosting it. But it's the same night, the mayor is hosting the Pakistani community prior to the Pakistan parade on the 8th. He's hosting a reception also on the 3rd. So I'll have to split my time between the Pakistani event downtown, then run right out to National Night Out at Warren Park. So I'll be moving quickly between the two events, but I'll be out at Warren Park also, and my staff will be at Warren Park at 6. I'll probably get there about 7.
So that'll be good, and I hope all of you stop by there. If you want to volunteer, go to caps24.org. Sonny Hirsch, our entire technical crew, is the chairman of the 24th District Advisory Committee, and there's forms there where you can apply to help out. They need volunteers in all sorts of different ways, and we hope you will be able to check it out and help us out. So it'd be greatly appreciated. Let me ask you, not far from my house on Pratt in California, they got a sign up there, future home of Goodath Israel, where Gunther's and then Marshall's Car Castle used to be.
Right.
Have they actually applied for a zoning change yet?
I don't know if they've applied for it. I think they have, but I know that they're going ahead with the construction. That I think they've applied for an exception. A zoning exception, but they're going ahead with their construction.
They can do that without a zoning change?
If you get a commissioner's exception, you can then proceed. I don't think they need a zoning change. Yeah, I guess they do. They have to go to a residential zoning. I don't think that they've talked to me about that as yet.
These are, I hate to say it, but some of the members of the same group were the ones that bought that property in Evanston that's still sitting fallow.
Well, they're going to go ahead with it. They've talked to me about it, and I've seen their drawings and everything else. They're going to proceed on it.
So they hired one of probably the most famous real estate attorney going. The guy? I saw a name on there. He also represented. Cass writes about the guy all the time.
Jimmy Banks?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Jimmy Banks is regular in John Cass's column. But Jimmy Banks' uncle is no longer chairman of the zoning committee. But that's Cass writes always about Jimmy. But Jimmy's a good lawyer.
So I saw Jimmy in action once, and boy, this guy, he was seriously good. I was impressed.
Well,
guy's got ability. There's no question.
He prepares his cases. There's about a half a dozen really good zoning lawyers who prepare their cases well in advance, and Jimmy's one of them.
So, still, I just think it's weird on their part to not actually request for it if they're going to go through all this building and stuff.
if Banks is there, that they don't have to request. They just file a petition, and they'll appear before the committee. And of course, I'll help them on that. I'm not going to oppose it.
Yeah. No, I know you said on the show before that you thought it was a nice idea and all the rest of it.
Yeah,
good use for
sure.
the site.
Yeah.
So I just, sometimes I try to get into the thinking of some of these guys, and some of these guys, it's like, I wonder what they're thinking, and I'm probably better off not knowing.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to other notes. What's going on in City Council?
Well, of course, I wasn't here when they passed the new gun law, but I probably would have voted with them because I happen to agree that there's too many guns out on the street. I didn't see the legislation. I was in Pittsburgh over that weekend, that July 4th weekend. I attended a 60th wedding anniversary, so I was not here.
Mazel tov.
Yeah, so that was well planned in advance, so I just couldn't be here for that meeting. And the mayor, of course, called it so quickly without advance notice. So I had made a commitment to attend, so I wasn't here for that meeting. In any event, that was the latest thing that had occurred. I have pending a number of pieces of legislation, including a registry for security deposits, because I've seen too many people lose their security deposits because landlords did not put them in a certified account as they're supposed to do. So I think that there should be a registry so that we know that they're actually deposited in a certified account, and that's the only way you know it for sure is if they do so, and I provided for a heavy fine in the event they do not report it. I'm waiting for Alderman Schiller, who I appointed as chairman of the subcommittee, to report back to the building committee. As soon as she reports back, then we'll proceed with that, because there's a number of other matters that are tied in with my registry ordinance, and we should hopefully pass that. If not right at the time this appears on the TV, certainly by the September meeting. Then I'm also introducing an ordinance that concerns riggers, riggers for stagehands, And,
Okay.
apparently now they're not licensed, they're not controlled, and we license and control many other types of people, and yet riggers, we're dealing with equipment that weighs thousands of pounds, and these people, people who may have no experience whatsoever, can set up exhibits and set up things.
Well, this is all public stuff.
And people can be hurt,
Yeah.
particularly people who appear in performances. And most most stage performances have union riggers, and most of whom are licensed. But particularly shows that appear in hotels and things like that, many times they have non-union or non-trained people setting up exhibits, and when you're dealing with equipment that is really dangerous, These people should be at least licensed. So I'm introducing an ordinance at the next meeting that'll have the building department make sure that they know what they're doing at least. It'll go along with what we've done in the past with general contractors and other types of people who can affect the public safety. And I think we have to protect the people, public safety in most cases. So this is the types of ordinances that we work on, and it's something that would particularly be involved in our building committee.
In our last minute and a half, you hold regular office hours. People can come see you.
Every Monday and Thursday, we start at 6:30 and go on until the last person is taken care of. I don't know if everybody does it, but I do it. I have been doing it as long as I've been alderman. And our office is in Lincoln Village above the dress barn. We invite the general public to come in, and we await them. And quite frankly, I learn more by listening to people than I do in the city council. I learn from people. It's amazing what you can learn by just listening to people talk. And I find out there's a new problem every day, and I find out problems that the city has to deal with, and that's how I really develop a lot of the legislation that I introduce. I find out by listening to people on a Monday or Thursday evening.
Wow. Very good. We're really running out of time here. Also, you should contact the alderman if you want to get his regular email newsletter, which now comes out.
We're looking for email addresses. So if you want to get our email newsletter, please furnish our office, and our phone number is 773-764-5050.
Thank you so much, Alderman Stone. Thanks, Joe.
Thanks,
Chuck Shea.
Avi.
Time for National Night Out, segment
Thank
2.
you. August 3rd.